Crafty friends, and hello. It is December 2nd and I have another process going up, so I guess I am keeping my promise to work on my December daily and share my processes with you. Thank you, first of all, for the super warm reception to the video I shared yesterday. I was not expecting the internet to be so welcoming and to be so kind to me just being open and vulnerable. So thank you. I'm so glad so many of you liked that video. And if you haven't seen it yet and you just stumbled here, I will link it up there somewhere so you can see it. But again, thank you so much for watching. So here is day one in my album. So here's what day one looks like. So again, there's a process video for how I put this all together, and I read my journaling, and you can hang out with me and listen to me blab. This actually doesn't belong here. This was a placeholder for something else, so I'm gonna move this. But here is what my foundation page for day two looks like. So I have the back side of this to finish up, and then I have this too, and then that's it. And again, this is very much my approach to foundation pages. I like having something to start with, but then not being constrained, I guess, to stick to what's in the album. So I had this, and then I had no idea what I was doing with the day, no idea whatsoever. And I was going about my day, and it was a Monday, and Mondays are not my favorite. And it was just kind of funny that I was talking about looking for joy and looking for magic, and then I had another bad day, which, whatever, that's real life. And I went to Target, and I found this Hogwarts ornament. And if you know anything about me, I am obsessed with Harry Potter. It's my thing. And so I ended up shopping for ornaments. So I ended up picking up 8 new ornaments. And then I came home and I put my Hogwarts ornament on my Harry Potter hardcover stack with my Hedwig mug. And then it was just a perfect picture. So my plan, this is 7.5 by 8.25. 8.25 is the length of the page protector. So I'm going to trim this to 6.5 by 8.25, do a fold over, put that on top, and have my, it'll just be easier if you watch me do it. So I don't think I'm going to put the video on fast forward as much as I did yesterday, just so I can talk you through what I was doing, because I felt like I was rushing yesterday, because I also wanted to read my journaling to you guys. I don't know if I'll read all my journaling today, because it is hefty, but I might read some of it. So I'm going to stop talking, start working. Oh, here's a few other things I have on my desk. So I had a plan to just number some of these ornaments in no particular order, but since I had that fun number piece, I also have some green numbers. These are from Feed Your Craft. These are from the main kit. Since that number thing I had was red and green and white, I wanted to figure out some way to integrate those colors onto this side of the spread. So that's what I have on my desk. Also, I have these circle chipboard pieces out because I have a circle chipboard on day one on a bit of transparency, so I do need to back that with something. And then I do know that I want to spell out the word "to" on the Hogwarts ornament because it's my favorite. So I have these gold letters out. And then, honestly, after that, I have no plans. So for real this time, I'm going to stop talking, put on my Christmas carols again, and work on day two. So stick around and let's figure this out together.
All right, crafty friends, so let's switch gears for a bit. I have everything that I need to get this spread situated out on my desk right now. And so what I did was I printed my main photo, which is the photo that's going to be on the inside of the flip out element. It's size 7.75 by 8.25. 8.25 is the length of the page protector, and then I just wanted to have a flip element. So my journaling is size 3.5 by 8.25, and then the big photo that's going on the front of my flip element, I think, is 4.5 by 8.25. And what I'm also cutting down is I'm cutting down an element to use for my hinge. So the way I like to do flip outs is I don't really like using washi for my flip outs. I don't have a lot of washi rolls. It's not really my embellishment of choice. And I find that washi over time just doesn't stay as sticky. And then if things are living outside the page protector, like I want to make sure that they're going to last, you know, the test of time. So the way I like to do my hinges is I like to use a bit of cardstock. So typically I'll take a 2-inch wide cardstock and I'll score it at 1 inch. So I have like a little V-shaped bit of cardstock, and then I glue it down to both sides of the flip element. And I find that that holds, you know, that'll hold up pretty well. That's how I've done all of my flip outs in all of my albums that are outside of the page protector. And depending on what adhesive you use, it'll hold up for a really long time. So now I'm kind of assembling my flip out, so it's easier for you to watch me do it than for me to try to explain like, oh, I glued this one here and then I glued this one here. But pretty much I attach the flip to the main photo, and then I attach the rest of the photo to the other side of the flip. So I kind of wanted a square photo, and it's not a perfect square, but I wanted pretty close to a square photo. And then my journaling goes on the right next to the remaining of the photo. And as I'm rereading my journaling, I realized that I made a million grammatical errors, and that's what I get for not proofreading my work. So the spirit is there and my intentions are there, but like the last sentence doesn't make any grammatical sense whatsoever. I was typing it on my phone and it was raining, and I was typing it as I was walking, and I should have come home and proofread it before I printed it. But you know, when you write something, you just like, yes, this is it. So you don't like double check your work. So lesson learned for today is proofread all the things before you print them out, because now it's in my album and it doesn't make any sense. But like I said in the beginning, my journaling is about this ornament I found, and Harry Potter is very much my thing. Like I have a Harry Potter tattoo. I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. Hogwarts is my thing. And it's just funny that I had spent so much time yesterday talking about like looking for magic and magic being what we make it. And then today was Monday and Mondays are not my thing. Mondays at work are like the longest work day I have. And then on top of that, I have school, and then the sun is like down at 4:45. So it's like pitch black by 5 o'clock, and it's been raining for days here. And it's just like, and like, let's make excuses for all the reasons that like I was not in the best of moods by the end of the day. And this ornament literally like fell into my lap. Like I wasn't looking for it. I was running a quick errand, and somehow I ended up looking at the Christmas ornaments. And before you ask, my tree still isn't up. So I have a bunch of Christmas ornaments sitting on my desk and no tree to put the ornaments on. But that is okay, because the tree will eventually go up, and then that can be another story, like finally having the Hogwarts ornament on the tree. But yeah, it literally fell into my lap. And I feel 100% okay like babbling at you guys like this, because again, my process today is pretty simple. I didn't edit this video down at all. Like literally all I did was speed it up. So you're not watching me play with chipboard and glue and paper for 20 minutes. But the raw footage for this whole process was, I think it was 23 minutes long. So if like that's your barrier to doing December Daily, that you don't think you have the time to invest in a project like this, like you can make it as simple or as complex as you want it. There are definitely some days that like my pages took me maybe an hour, but yesterday's page took me a half hour and today's page took me 20 minutes. Like, being perfectly honest, some of the background work does take a little bit longer, because if you journal like I journal and you write an essay on every single page, it does take a little bit longer. But the printing maybe took me, like getting all the stuff in Photoshop sized and printed, maybe took me 10 minutes. And then it probably took me like another 20 minutes to put this page together. So for day 2, I literally invested a half hour of my time in getting day 2 ready and getting it in the book. I had that die cut element ready in advance. Like that was something I made in my foundation pages, which is also why I have the approach to foundation pages that I do, because I like to work on the project daily, and I don't want to be spending more than a half hour on a day-to-day basis. Like let's say every day this week is really smooth, and I get to day 7 and I want to do something like really big and labor intensive, then I'm okay with putting in a little bit more time, because every other day has taken me a half hour. So since my process is pretty easy today, like I just stuck down some chipboard numbers, I used like a cork number, interrupting myself again, but those gold skinny alphas, they were in the main kit, and I need Allie to launch those in every color so I can hoard them forever and ever, because I think those are my favorite alphabet sticker, like, of all time. Like, honestly, the font of those, they're so dainty and they're so pretty, and I love them. And I'm seeing people use them on a lot of their projects. Like, people are using them to spell out like numbers or to just spell out small words, and I really want to hoard them, so I had to make myself use them on this layout. So back to me babbling. So I'm not going to read all of my journaling today, just because it's an essay and it's really long, but I'm going to read some of the bits that are important, that gives you like the sense of what I was thinking and how my day went, just so you can kind of follow along with what I was talking about in my journaling. So here's the important bits. So I wrote a letter to Hogwarts, and so here are some of the important bits. I spent a lot of yesterday telling myself magic is what we make, and giving myself all the pep talks between the tears, and then Monday showed up and tested my resolve and commitment to find joy in all things, and I slipped a few times, and I fell at least once, and I was so glad that this day was over, and all I had to do after school was go to Target and grab something for dinner. Of course, I had to peruse the Christmas ornament aisle. I think you were silently calling, waiting for me to find you, and there you were, hanging on a peg, and my breath literally caught. I have never been shy about admitting how much you and Harry Potter mean to me. There are some days I'm convinced those novels saved my life. You are a little reminder that magic exists, and isn't it funny how the universe works? I was hunting for small spots of magic, and then I ran smack into a real symbol of wonder, just waiting for me to stop staring at my screen and start looking at the world around me. So of course you went in my basket. And funny story, I literally went to Target to get something to throw together for dinner for Joshua and I came home with a Hogwarts ornament and a package of bagels. So that tells you how much how good I am at adulting. Like, I am a terrible grown-up. I don't know why anyone lets me do these things, but yes. So I have a Hogwarts ornament and a package of Thomas's cranberry bagels, and that's how my Target trip went. So the other bit of my journaling that I really like is, again, talking about like what those stories mean to me. And part of why I love this story so much is it's an everyday story. Like, the emotions and the feelings and everything, that literally could have happened any day in the month. This is a December story because the odds of me finding a Hogwarts ornament just chilling in Target in October are non-existent. So it's definitely a December story, but it's not a holiday story. And that's why December Daily like gets me in the feels every single time, because the stories that I like to tell they're right in that sweet spot between the mundane everyday events and then those like fantastic holiday things we do. So I love this project. I ended up pulling out a few things from my stash from other companies. Like, I used some die cuts from In a Creative Bubble. She launches kits with Feed Your Craft now. So I used some die cuts from that. And then I also pulled out some chipboard from my stash from Allie. The star chipboard that you'll eventually see me use was an add-on from the Joy kit. And chipboard stars are my love language. So if chipboard stars are ever an option, then the answer is always 100% yes. And that's pretty much all I did for this page. So I told this really long story about how much Harry Potter means to me. I will read you one other section from my journaling because it makes me really happy. It says, you taught me to dream big, to fight the bad guys, to stand up for what's right, to be cunning and ambitious, hashtag Slytherin Pride for life, to hold my friends close, to go boldly into the next adventure. I cannot imagine trying to explain what this means to anyone else, but between you and I still dream about receiving that magical parchment, about leaving to get on the express, to fly past the Great Lake and the Quidditch pitches, to see the rolling Scottish hills, and to call the castle home. So that was my story. It was a story about an ornament and finding magic and, you know, taking your head about the phone and letting the universe just speak to you and letting the universe work on your behalf. And I love how this worked out. I love the red and the green. I love that it's classic Christmas colors. And they're still like my favorite, like my touches of rose gold and mixed metallics. And it feels very much like a me layout. Like this is how I do December Daily. There's flip outs, there's big elements, there's small elements, there's circles, and there's stars. And the sum of all the parts makes me so happy. So I didn't do this last video, but if you enjoyed hanging out with me, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys left me the sweetest comments on my video that I shared last night on my day 1 video, and you guys, I was crying half the day from the comments that you guys were leaving. So again, if you like this, leave me another comment. Tell me what you guys are up to for December. Tell me how you guys are documenting the season. If there's like a page idea you have that you want to see me work up, let me know and let's just have a conversation. So I will have still photos at the end of this. And that's pretty much all I have to say today. I am so glad that you guys came back. I am so happy that it's December. I hope you guys have the most magical season. And until next time, keep it crafty, friends, and have the very best day. And happy December!